Breaking news. Our hearts are heavy today as over 1,613 people have been killed. When are we going to do something? Our children are dying, and our politicians are doing nothing to get fast food off the streets. Obesity is very real and terrifying. To hell with your right to eat whatever you want. Our founding fathers never thought that you could get a triple cheeseburger with lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, onions, a large fry, and a 32-ounce drink in 3 minutes for less than $5. This has to end. Because the media focuses on it, it becomes a pop culture topic, making you think about it much more than you should. The odds of you being killed in a mass shooting is far less than 1%. You have way better odds of dying in a car crash, but no one's gonna ban cars, right? Well, they have regulations on cars and seatbelts. After people started dying, they started doing things about it. There are over 20,000 gun laws in this country. The idea that guns are unregulated is ridiculous. It has become so easy to manipulate the public, and that's what scares me. People who have never shot or owned a gun in their life should not be so vocally ignorant. The only reason they are is because that's the approved media narrative. If you claim to be anti-gun, but you're not a part of the hippie utopian category, you probably think only the police and military should have guns. So you're not anti-gun, you're very much pro-gun, just pro-military and police having guns. You're pro-police coming into people's homes and confiscating guns, using guns. I know you may feel very virtuous for having such a belief, but you personally don't want to go in and confiscate the guns, right? Seems pretty dangerous. A caring and thoughtful individual like yourself would prefer police to go risk their lives on your behalf. You can hate on guns all you want, but they're not going anywhere. For every 100 people in the United States, there are 112 guns. It's part of our national identity and a huge reason why we've never been invaded by a foreign force. American civilians own more than the largest 25 armies combined, including our own. Plus, that rate of gun ownership has stayed about the same for the last 100 years. But mass shootings have only been a problem for the last 20. That's a pretty good sign to me that these mass shootings are not a gun problem, they're a people problem. The Founding Fathers never envisioned a gun that could shoot like an AR-15. Well, of course they did. It's not that hard to envision a musket shooting more bullets in quicker succession. What is hard to imagine is the internet. Massive networks of electronics sending messages across the world in seconds, that's hard to imagine. So why is it that our First Amendment right is seen to be applicable to all the modern communication technologies, but our Second Amendment right only applies to muskets? Either both apply to modern technology or neither do, because it could be argued that more damage could be done from a message on the internet than any rifle could ever do. But that is why it's so important that we pay attention to those in power and how they try and use our emotional state to pass legislation. As level-headed and intelligent as we think we are, under stress, all that goes out the window. Because in our world of oppressive air conditioning and safe spaces, we forget that human beings are capable of real evil. To those of you who believe that Trump is Hitler, and our police are brutally assaulting people in the streets, and we have foreign governments interfering with our elections, why in the world are you trying to give up your only means of defending yourself? It literally makes no sense. And for the final argument, which is the biggest joke of them all, do you really think your rifle could stand up against the might of the US military? The short answer, abso-freaking-lutely. We heard that once before, right? What was the year? 1776? And we won. Like I said earlier, Americans own more guns than the top 25 largest militaries in the world. You bet your sweet red, white, and blue butt that we are a dominant threat to tyranny, as the Founding Fathers intended. When tyranny comes knocking, you're going to be glad we're here, willing to carry on the sacrifices of those before us, who gave up everything so that you and I could live in the greatest nation the world has ever seen. There were 100 more things that I wanted to talk about in this video, but gotta keep it short and sweet. If you want me to talk more about a specific aspect of this topic, let me know in the comments below. I'm curious as to what you all think of this. Maybe you'll have a view that'll change my perspective.